All right, y'all. It's the first live stream of 2026 on the channel, and we're coming out kicking the door down with a banger because we're going to be covering arguably the hottest investment of 2025, giving your perspective, and we're going to be talking about that investment alongside of furthering our financial growth. So we're going to be covering silver and how it's performed insanely in 2025, and why there's a strong argument that it's honestly just getting started. But we're going to be adding a component to this conversation because silver's become a hot financial media topic, drawing in a ton of views and a lot of attention. But what I want to do as a banker is give you the perspective of how investments like silver can catapult your financial picture if you tie it into your banking relationship. Those of you who are familiar with the channel already know the foundation of this channel is helping you master your banking relationships so you can truly expand your net worth and your overall quality of life. Teaching you and demonstrating to you how mastering the banking system actually is the foundation to wealth creation. Nobody else really talks about it, but it doesn't matter what investment vehicles you have. It doesn't matter how hot or how much money you make or what business model you got into. If you're not managing and optimizing your money on the home front efficiently and effectively and having the right tools, resources, and personnel to help you scale that wealth, then nothing else matters. So we're going to be bringing in silver as the hottest investment and partnering that with mastering relationship banking in this live stream, because this is going to allow you to take something like silver as an investment when you situate yourself right and benefit from this advancement, tie it into the banking system, and this can end up letting the bank pour into you their resources to expand your wealth beyond that. I'm going to make it all make sense in this live stream, but I wanted to give you some context. So let's start off talking about what relationship banking is for a brief second first, and then we're going to dive into the substance of it and talk about what's going on with silver and why it could be a phenomenal investment going into 2026. So relationship banking is essentially going to be on your end as the consumer, business owner, whatever the case may be. It's going to be on your end maximizing the full scale and capacity of a financial institution. You're trying to tap as many resources in that financial institution as you possibly can. Whatever you can qualify for that makes sense for your financial picture, you're maximizing. On the bank's end, it's called developing a sticky relationship. The bank is looking to provide you as many products and services as they can possibly provide you to solidify that relationship so they can bring you maximum value and make as much money along the way as they possibly can. These two marry together when both strategic and thought out to create a ton of wealth. You become partners in a wealth creation process versus adversaries or competitors. You start becoming partners. You are on your journey to building wealth. You find various investment opportunities or maximize your income or business opportunities. The bank is supplying you the resources to optimize the money you're making and give you better opportunities to make more money and give you the capital and the resources and expertise you need to make more money and protect whatever it is you do create. This is a symbiotic relationship that truly exemplifies anything else you're accomplishing with your finances. When you have the bank on your side and you have the right financial institutions, regardless the investment opportunity, regardless the business opportunity, your income, whatever the case may be, you're going to be on a whole nother level than a lot of people because you're going to have a totally different set of tools and infrastructure behind you. So that's the foundation of relationship banking. Now, the real exciting part is what's going on with silver. I don't know if you guys are familiar with silver as an investment. And yes, I'm talking about actual silver for those of you who may not be. But silver has industrial capacity, as you and I may know it, going into jewelry, electronics, etc. It also has a whole world in the monetary world and as a financial instrument, or at least financial instruments created around it. And silver took off last year. So did gold. But gold never moves as fast as silver does. And even though gold had a phenomenal year, up over 60% in 2025, silver was up over 140% in 2025. I mean, absolutely bonkers last year. And the crazy part about it is it's probably nowhere near done. And there's a whole backstory behind it. I'm going to give you more of a substantive context without going into the full history because there's no way to cover it in this live stream. It's just too much information. But I want to give you enough of it for you to understand what silver is, why it's an investment option at all, and why it has the potential to continue to do well in the near future. And then we're going to, again, tie this back into how having success with an investment like silver, which it could be any great investment opportunity, but we're going to use silver because it's such a hot topic and a great opportunity to complement your banking relationship and just transform your entire financial picture. So silver, for those of you who may not be as familiar, if I was to give some backdrop context on it, is, as I stated before, it's an industrial, material. It's a resource that is used in a ton of applications in our world. As a matter of fact, there's not a single electronic that we all engage with that doesn't have some level of silver in it. It's the most conductive metal, and it is irreplaceable at this time for what it provides to electronics. So that's the general industrial side. The monetary side is similar to gold. Many of us have heard about gold being an asset class. And if you've heard about it in proper context, you've heard about it as being a form of insurance when the currency that your country is, is operating in, or the monetary or fiscal policy of the country you're operating in gets unstable, gets too loose, gets out of control, or loses too much value. Gold is one of those assets you turn to stabilize and possibly grow your wealth, to protect your wealth more than anything, to keep from saving in a currency that's losing value at a fast pace. Silver is behind gold in that category. It functions around those same parameters of being a bit of a safe haven, being somewhat a store of value, but it also has serious investment component to it as far as how it can perform. Gold is a lot more stable. It's a lot more treasured. Because silver has such a large industrial demand, and it's not as plentiful as gold is, and it turns around and has a monetary demand as well, it puts it in a whole other category for an investment opportunity. And we're experiencing that going into 2025. I want to give y'all some context on the industrial side first. When you think about silver as an investment, you have to stop and think about every single electronic that needs some kind of electric conductivity. And now that puts silver in exceptional demand. Right now, I'm sitting in front of a microphone, laptop, light, camera, you name it. And you're listening to me on all of the same type of devices that all have silver in it. Electric vehicles, solar panels, refrigerators, microwaves, jewelry, car, you name it. Whatever you can think of that has any level of electricity in it likely has some silver in it. Huge industrial demand. Now double back and think about the fact that we're headed into a further digitized and technologically advanced world. We're talking about a world where AI, stable coins and Bitcoins and cryptocurrencies. We're talking about a world that's going further to the electric side of things. They're trying to get cars to be almost all electric. They're trying to move to cleaner energy. Solar is leading that charge. You go down the line, military applications, all of the weapons and technologies involved in the military, tools, factories, warehouses, every single thing that you can possibly think of that we're moving towards as humanity as a whole requires silver. And did I mention already, silver is absolutely irreplaceable at the time of this recording. Science has not found any way to replace what silver provides in electronics. So enormous industrial demand. The other side of the equation is monetary demand. So that's basically going to be physical hoarding of silver. So owning physical silver itself, silver stocks, and everything that goes into storing silver and backing it, providing some kind of contracts or stocks in the form of ownership. So that means, taking a claim on silver, but not necessarily taking the physical silver. It's a bunch of trading in stocks and financial products around that. And then you have all these other components of everyday investors like you and I, who would invest in something like silver to just store value. So there's an enormous demand. Doing my best to keep this simple, but to get into enough depth for you to understand why silver was on a complete tear last year and literally has no signs of any significant stop in the near future. So let's put some additional context around this. We have growing industrial demand, rapidly growing industrial demand. We have complete chaos almost in the fiscal and monetary realm, meaning that the government running the financial side of the budget, or the government is running it like a crazy person or a bunch of crazy people, and spending into oblivion, running deficits, piling up national debt, at alarming rates. And then the monetary side with the Federal Reserve printing money like crazy every chance they get for any excuse that comes around. We're printing money trying to prop up the economy. These are the kind of things that create a lack of confidence in the financial system. And in human beings, when there's a lack of confidence in something, the natural thing you do is compensate. You're looking for something that does feel stable. Because of the lack of instability over here, just human instinct and human psychology, which money is deeply psychology, wants to reach for something stable. Silver fits that bill, just like gold does. And as Bitcoin is slowly coming into the fold and doing, it's somewhere to go that has limited third-party counter risk, meaning that I don't have to directly rely on the government in its decision-making. I don't have to directly rely on the Federal Reserve in its decision-making. I can grab this asset and know that if I hold it, that it will be able to provide me the purchasing power that I originally had with the currency I was once saving in. But it's going to hold that purchasing power when the currency loses purchasing power. I'm looking for that stability. Silver is a great place to be. Again, gold is probably more stable, but silver is also a great place to be for that. And a lot of people in the industry call it poor man's gold because silver has always been significantly more affordable than gold. To put it in context, right now, gold is over $4,500, $4,600 at the time of this recording. Silver, even after taking off, is still under $100 an ounce right now. So there's that ratio of gold to silver in modern times has been very wide, 70, 80 to 1. So basically what that means is silver is an accessible asset that can still perform with the same features as gold, generally speaking. It moves a lot faster, a lot more dynamic, but it is still a store of value. So we have crazy industrial demand, crazy monetary demand, and good reasoning for it. Now you sit here and say, okay, well, it's already went up well over 100% in a year. Any other asset, any other stock, financial product, real estate goes up by those numbers. The first thing you're thinking is whatever goes up to that extent has to come back down. This is where things get interesting. Unlike, something like real estate where there's a human dependency in a way of like people needing shelter, or unlike even stocks to some extent, precious metals have a unique, gold and silver especially have a unique case when it comes to price spikes, because they're not going to just drop in price just because it went up so high. Like, oh, it just has to balance out because it's just getting too expensive. That's not how that works with precious metals. And that's what makes it such an interesting investment opportunity. Gold and silver have their prices much more predicated on the factors I named around it: industrial demand, monetary fiscal policy. If the government you're underneath in your country and the currency that's underneath that is unstable, then nothing's gonna change your need for that stability and any other investor's need for that stability. So the price can continue to rise as the demand grows from the lack of confidence around how the government's functioning, how the Federal Reserve's functioning and printing money like crazy. These things continue on and you continue to lose confidence, you're going to continue to reach for more stability. You're going to continue to pay whatever prices to get your hands on something stable that's going to hold value. The price it's relevant, but it's not going to be a very good deterrent because your alternative is worse. I'm just going to stay in a currency that's getting put into oblivion by a government that's running deficits that can't ever be paid back. It's recipe for disaster written all over it. So it doesn't take you to be an investing genius to realize, well, I just want to put my money somewhere, even if I have to pay a high nominal price for it, that I can hold on to. And when things rebalance out, I can turn around and sell that asset out later. Whatever the currency is at that time, whatever the circumstances, I can get an equal or maybe even higher level of value back. So the same thing on the industrial side. As long as there is an exceptional demand for that particular resource, then the price almost doesn't matter because the world can't stop producing electronics because the price of silver went up too high. Does that make sense? It's not going to do that. Apple's not going to be like, well, I guess we can't make any more iPhones, y'all. That price of silver is crazy. Let's just wait until it comes down. Like, are you kidding me? Like, can you imagine the military just being like, oh yeah, we got to stop producing all these jets and planes and guns and computer chips, etc. You know, the price of silver is just crazy, y'all. Let's just chill out for now and just wait till the price go back down. I hope that's coming off as retarded as it sounds, because that's exactly what it is. Nothing functions that way when it comes to the dynamics that influence the price of gold and silver. Hopefully you're keeping up with that so far. So without going into all of the technical weeds, because trust me, you can get into a whole lot of technical graphs and charts. You can get into a whole lot of, plain Jane financial concepts to explain why gold and silver have a lot more runway. But what I'm telling you right now is basic common sense. Once you understand the financial literacy behind it and you understand what some of these things mean, crazy industrial demand, wild monetary policy, insane fiscal behavior, these are the asset classes that have been time tested and proven to hold value, and they're small markets. What that basically means is the amount of money in the financial system is magnitudes beyond the size of the gold and silver market. Like magnitudes. Gold and silver markets are like, 9-figure markets on a yearly basis. The stock market is, decatrillion dollar markets. You know what I mean? Like the amount of money in our financial system is magnitudes beyond how much of it could go, that gold and silver could fit. With that being the case, that means that it's a small market and it doesn't take much demand to push the price up. So when you have more and more people waking up saying, I'm not feeling too confident about the dollar, I'm not liking the fact prices keep going up, the government's spending money like crazy, they're getting into these different conflicts and it's making things unstable, the Federal Reserve's printing money like crazy. It's not crazy high-level economic or political stuff. It's just kind of semi-basic everyday understanding. If you're not under a rock and you're watching any kind of news, you just don't feel comfortable about the environment around you. You're looking for assets that's going to provide that stability. And those markets are this big, and the amount of value and assets and resources that can end up trying to pour into it at some point in time are enormous. So you don't need half of the United States economy to try to pour into silver for the price to go up at all. You literally, we're talking 1, 2, 3% of the population, a couple really big hedge funds. It takes nothing. It takes nothing to really move the price of these assets because the markets are already so small. There's already such a high demand and low supply. Basic economics 101. Now let's pivot for a second. Hopefully you have a fundamental understanding of why these are even hot investment opportunities in the first place with gold and silver, particularly silver. Let's pivot for a second on how do you invest in these things? How do you invest in silver? What are your options to do so? And what are the best options? And then we're going to segue into how investing properly in silver can translate into your banking relationship and where that can take you financially. So just stick with me. So when we're taking a look at how to invest in silver, you have the first primary common sense option, just go buy silver, which funny enough, one of my best friends, if not my best friend that I was working with nearly 10 years ago, maybe 7, 8, 9 years ago, I was educating him about investing in precious metals. And then being the smart guy that he is, he continued to take that insight and that seed that was planted and continue to hang with it for years later. So we've been texting all the way up to today, leading up to this live stream, because I used to show him, take him to go buy silver. I'm like, this is where I go. This is what I'm purchasing. This is why, because the argument for something like silver and gold has been there for forever. Again, a lot of history behind it. Not going to cram it into this live stream. So my point is, I've been exposed to buying silver since 2016, 17, 18, literally, like in increments. I've sold some of it over the years back and forth, but I've been investing in buying silver literally for like 10 years now. Physical silver. I didn't understand any of the other dynamics to investing in silver yet, so I was patient. I just bought physical silver. This is back when we were talking $15, $17, $18, $20 an ounce. Time of this recording is $91, $92, $93 an ounce. That's just the 1 year performance in 2025, by the way. So just do the math on if you had a few hundred ounces of silver and you bought it at $15 or $20 an ounce, and it's nearly $100 an ounce right now. But we'll digress for a second. Now, you can buy physical silver. Your next options, you can buy, you can buy claims on silver, if you will. So you can buy it and have it stored somewhere for you, or you can buy it through, various funds or ETFs that will claim to themselves be holding physical silver on demand in vaults. You're, purchasing an ETF or a stock or a fund that's holding that silver, and that's your claim. So that's almost the next step of holding physical silver, but in paper form. The next option of several others, but we're going to keep it, again, relatively slim to get to the point. The next option that's really appealing that I've now finally gotten an understanding in recent years is the companies behind mining silver. So you have stocks, ETFs, and different funds where you can take claims on the physical or track the price of it. That's an option. But the real bubbling opportunity, bit more of a gamble, if you will, or risky, but the real bubbling opportunity that has the opportunity to even outperform silver itself is going to be the mining companies getting it out of the ground, getting it out of the earth. These companies, because that sector is so small, though it is so valuable and important, absolutely essential, I'd say, is still such a small sector that the majority of some of the biggest mining companies in the world can be bought from a stock point of view for less than $30 a share. And some of the more promising ones are less than $10 a share. So we're talking about the very companies that get this stuff out of the ground. The only option to getting to silver becoming a useful resource in the first place, being pulled out of the ground and processed and turned and provided and turned into something that can make it industrial or monetary use, or give it an industrial or monetary use case, or give it its functionality. So these companies, because the sector is so small, are affordable as hell. And this is where we start to segue into ways you can invest. Buying physical gold and silver, great option. Buying paper claims could be a good option. Do your research, because you got to hope that they actually holding the silver they claim they have. But that having been said, could be a good option. Tracking the price, buying ETFs or funds that track the price could be a good option. Getting under the weeds and building a stock portfolio of the actual resource companies getting this stuff out of the ground. These companies have an opportunity to outperform the silver price itself 2 to 3-fold or more, because they're the only reason it's useful in the first place. So this is a unique opportunity. And if you guys are on Instagram and following any financial segments, you're probably seeing stuff like silver, coverage around silver investing and gold investing and investing in the stocks and the ETFs, etc., like crazy, because it's that underground investment opportunity that people like myself have been in the rabbit hole down, but now it's becoming mainstream. Now you're hearing Fox News contribute. Now you're hearing big hedge funds and popular people on major networks talking about owning and holding gold and silver. Diversify your portfolio to gold and silver. Now it's hot and sexy and mainstream. So when you think about the mining companies, these opportunities, again, one of my best friends, I just sent him over basically a list of some of the options that I'm invested in and watch lists that I'm watching. Long list of mining companies that have a lot of promise. You have to do a lot of your own research, not financial advice. I'm not your advisor. I am a banker. I am licensed, but I'm not your banker. Not in real life. I don't know your situation, so do your own due diligence. But these companies are one of the most unique investment opportunities right now. Other than some of these AI tech-related stocks and things of that nature, well, then when you match up the fact that a lot of those other stocks are already expensive and relatively expensive, again, some of the best mining stocks when it comes to silver and gold are under $100, under $50, under $30 per share. You can literally take hundreds of thousands, a couple $1,000s, and hold on to dozens of shares of these companies, maybe even hundreds in some occasions and cases. If they double, triple, quadruple, 5-fold, you do the math. And heavens forbid, if you happen to have 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 50 grand laying around somewhere in some capacity and can deploy it into some of these stock opportunities. Again, do your own research and do your own due diligence. I'm not going to get into particular picks in this live stream, but I'm bringing you down a pathway. We talked about relationship banking. We talked about one of the hottest investment options. We're talking about how to invest in that particular investment, the different ways and the more effective ways. Now we're talking about now that you followed me and discovered the opportunity to hold one of the highest investment opportunities of this decade. Now, how do we bridge this back home to our banking relationships? So let's just say we've done our due diligence. We have a stock portfolio that has, a balance of S&P 500, great tech stocks, your favorite companies. But now you've gotten this information and you decided and done the research and you found yourself a great segment of the portfolio that's in silver and in gold, riding that amazing wave that is likely going to continue. As that portfolio starts to catapult and continue to grow, when your stock portfolio grows, your bank is salivating. Banks that offer brokers wings to their institution, of course, not every bank has the ability for you to invest through them. So we're clearly talking about banks that have that feature that you can literally invest on platforms connected to that institution, okay? Bank of America, Chase, you name it, some of these institutions that are banks and, have brokers firms or partner with broker firms, okay? So you can hold your stock portfolio within your banking relationship. Hopefully that makes sense. You don't just want to make the money from the investment. This is where I'm giving you unique value. This is where this video and this live stream is giving you unique value, because this is the banker in me that is teaching you Instagram, YouTube, wherever the hell you watching your financial news, TikTok, will have you skydiving out of a damn plane with no parachute, behind silver, behind tech stocks, whatever the case may be. Yes, they may even give you some good information and lead you down the pathway to some good investment options. Means nothing to make that money and have no infrastructure around it on how to preserve it, continue to grow it, and how to deploy it into other business or financial opportunities to actually expand your net worth and actually build wealth versus just making you rich. Pause on that for a second. None of the investment options out there, none of the sexy investment talk out there means anything if you go out there and hit a lick on a stock or hit a lick on a stock portfolio or hit a lick on an investment and do not have the infrastructure, guidance, expertise, and financial tools to keep that money managed, growing, and deployed into other opportunities that can make you wealthy and not just rich for a moment. This is where the game changes. This is where financial literacy converts words into wealth. This is where you start to understand the game is deeper, because there's a lot of people out there that made a ton of money on crypto, just happened to fumble into the right stock, made 5, 6, 7 figures overnight seemingly, and are broke because they didn't build wealth. They just got rich for a minute. I'm going to teach you how to segue all of this over into actually getting rich for a minute. You understand what I'm telling you? Got my people in the comment section. Shout out to my guy PNR. What's up, my guy? I see you. So this is where it gets really interesting. We've talked about the relationship banking. We've picked one of several other investment opportunities out there, in silver in particular. We talked about how you can not only own the physical, but let's start talking about how we can own this in a way that expands the rest of our wealth. Owning physical silver is great, but that just basically means when it gets time, its timing is right, I take that physical silver, go sell it, exchange it for some currency, and go back into the regular world. When you own it in the form of stocks, you can amplify your financial prowess. You can project yourself now because it's quantified somewhere. You holding physical silver in some safe under your mattress in your closet is phenomenal, but it does nothing for your financial prowess in the system. It's outside of the system, which is a benefit. Don't get me wrong. You want some of that, but the system is going to keep going. It's just going to transcend. So I need to continue to position myself in the system. I'm not trying to pull all the way out of the system unless you're trying to trick out a minivan and live on the side of the road with like a solar panel or something. Like, shout out to you if that's your goal. But the rest of us, we still want to function in the regular world and come out on top. We want to do even better. So the system is transitioning. I still want to participate in it and build my positioning up in it. So this is why investing in silver-related stocks, ETFs, mining companies, etc., great investment opportunity. Picking the right stock portfolio, balanced out, but including some of these opportunities grows my portfolio faster. Now the bank I'm banking with has more assets under management. I'm becoming a favorite customer and transitioning from a customer to a client. A lot of y'all don't understand there's a difference between being a customer and a client. There's a level of priority and investment between being a client than being a customer. So as I build the stock portfolio up over here with the financial institution, silver's doing the heavy lifting for me by going through the roof in price because of the industrial demand of a modernized world, because a crazy ass government won't stop spending money like they're retarded, because the Federal Reserve wants to print and inject money every time the economy sneezes in the wrong direction. Silver's doing the heavy lifting. As it goes up, the stocks related to it go up. My portfolio is growing. The bank's looking at me salivating because the assets under management for my relationship, I'm becoming profitable to them. Now I'm becoming favorable. So this is where the partnership part comes back into play. How? Because now I'm becoming so valuable to the bank that they're actually taking the time out to pour back into me. I'm no longer just somewhere they're going to chew some fees out of me because I'm really a garbage client or customer. And the most they can get is a few fees. Maybe if they're lending to me, they get some interest because I don't know how to pay my damn bills on time, etc. No. That's not what we're doing anymore. Now I got an upper 5, 6, maybe 7-figure stock portfolio sitting in under these people's management. And they're looking at me like, okay, I like you. Because I, as a financial institution, get to make a ton of money while still assisting you in growing your wealth. I get to make a ton of money off of you in a productive way by helping you grow your wealth. When you're a customer, the bank is just looking to minimize its risk and get whatever fees off of your basic financial functions, generally speaking. When you're a client, the bank is literally sitting down and dedicating itself to you as a partner. You don't have to just take my word for it. Stop and think about some of the mainstream financial institutions you're banking with. You know just as well as I do, there's tier levels. As soon as you have a few dollars with that bank, as you have a decent portfolio in deposits and investments, you grow in your tier level. Now that bank is making specific offers to you. Now there's special rates for your deposits that you didn't even know were there. Now there's these credit card offers and lending offers that you didn't know that you qualify for. Now you're getting a dedicated banker. Now they're telling you there's a specific customer service line dedicated just to people in your category that actually speak English, and you don't have to call and get somebody from the Philippines. No disrespect to people over in the Philippines, but goddamn if that's not aggravating. I'm trying to manage my money, and we can't even get past the language barrier of hello and what can I help you with? No, you're not in that category anymore. My silver stock portfolio and my AI tech, my NVIDIAs and Palantirs is going through the roof, is doing its thing. Now the bank is like, no. Let me make that easier for you. No. We're not going to charge you fees for that anymore. No. We're not going to pay you 0.01 on your deposits anymore. We're going to actually expand your wealth with everything we have. So you're going to get a dedicated banker. Whenever that banker's not available and it's after hours, you have a dedicated line with US-based customer service. Whenever you need to send money overseas or you need to send money, across the United States, we're no longer going to tack those fees on. Don't worry about that daily limit on those Zelles anymore of that $500. If you need to send $2,000 on your Zelle or $5,000, no problem. Don't worry about it. You're trustworthy. You're familiar. You're profitable. Because you picked the right investment, you're plugging in into the system. So follow me for a second now, right? Follow me a little. Make sure y'all like and comment, by the way. May I see a few of y'all coming in. James Murphy, my guy, it's been a minute. It's good to see you. Nemo, Los Angeles, exactly. I see you in the building. Y'all make sure y'all leave a like and let other people know we in the building, dropping some real financial information. None of that BS that you finding on Instagram and YouTube. So now that I've got the investments growing in this mechanism for me, it's building my brand with the bank. I'm not even doing the heavy lifting anymore. I did my research. I picked the right investments. I'm monitoring it. It's doing this 1, 2. Cool. Now my brand's building. So this is where it gets interesting. Well, JP, how do I go from working class, taking in this financial information, making some good decisions, and just making some quick hits on my stock portfolio? And I got this new money. It's great, but I don't know what the hell I'm doing now. This is where we start to make it into something. So follow me for a second. I told you that your banking relationship is the crux of your wealth creation. Why? Because every single dollar, no matter how few or many of them you have, has to be optimized. It has to perform. Where does that happen? The bank. The bank. This is why it doesn't matter if you have what did Odell Beckham said. I know y'all saw what Odell Beckham was talking about. Odell Beckham was talking about a 10 million. What he said, $100 million ain't no money. You don't know how to optimize your money. It ain't gonna be no money. It sounds crazy to us on the ground, but $100 million is not gonna be any money. This is the difference about relationship banking. Because when you don't have the right personnel, strategies, and tools, somebody with $100,000 can have a better quality of life with you with $10 million. Because the money's optimized, it's performing, it has the guidance, the expertise, and the tools to perform and go further. You can have $10 million flat in cash. Okay, great. You can go out and buy $10 million worth of stuff. You're back at zero. If I can take my $100,000 and amplify it into $300,000 in borrowing capacity, that buys me a triplex that's cash flowing me X amount of $1,000 a month per year. Then I leverage that and turn around and go inject into my business that I just launched. I buy that franchise I've been wanting to buy, and that franchise is producing $500,000 a year. Y'all see where this is going? Because I took that $100,000 and put it in the financial system, and the bank optimized it for me. Oh, Mr. JP, no problem. You wanted to buy that fourplex down the street? Oh, that's great, man. Listen, you got great financials. Your banking relationships looking great. Matter of fact, we can even give you a discount on your lending rate. What? Have y'all even known that y'all can get a discount on your mortgage rate at your bank if you got enough money there? Tell me in the comment section down below. I'll wait. Check and see what Anybody? Did you even know that some banking relationships will literally discount your mortgage rate for just having money or investments with them? Crazy. You know, 4, 5, or 6% on a $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 loan could turn out being triple over a 30-year loan. And you telling me you willing to shave a quarter off, a 0.5% off? You're saving me tens of thousands of dollars while capitalizing an asset for me because I got a couple $100,000 in the bank with y'all or invested with y'all. Oh, that's how that works? That's crazy. That's crazy. So I don't know about y'all, but y'all should be buzzing right now because you already should be seeing where I'm going. You see what I'm saying? That $100,000, $200,000, $300,000. Oh, the bank is like, oh, don't touch your portfolio, Mr. JP, Mr. PNR, Mr. James Murphy. Don't touch your portfolio. We'll extend you a security-based line of credit. So you got a $300,000 portfolio that's doing great right now. We'll give you 50% of it. We'll give you a very sweet interest rate, 6%. Don't worry about it. And 8, don't worry about those principal and interest payments. Just pay us the interest for now. Your money stays 100% invested. Your phenomenal silver and technology stock portfolio you put together is still 100% invested. We'll give you $150,000 out of your $300,000 out of our pocket, charge you a minimal interest rate, interest-only payments. Go out there and buy that Airbnb property that you've been looking at. That property that you said that everybody's been overlooking, that's on fire sale right now because the interest rate market has been suppressing the prices in my market, and you know that property is phenomenal over there in that part of town. Go take that $150 and get it, and don't worry about it. We'll finance the mortgage for you, and I know the rates are at 5.5 right now, but we'll only charge you 5. Your mortgage rate's only going to be 5. So you go out there and buy that property. Wait, it doesn't stop there. My silver portfolio, my tech stock portfolio is still going up double-digit % on a yearly basis by the time it's annualized, right? So my $300,000 is still growing. I went over here and bought this Airbnb, or I bought this fourplex long-term rental that's spending out whatever amount of cash flow because I was able to buy it on a discount because I had cash. The seller was desperate. So I got a phenomenal deal. I have immediate equity in the property. So maybe it's a $400,000 property. I put $100,000 out of the $150,000 that the bank just gave me at dirt cheap. I turned around and rehabbed it. I got some quality tenants, or maybe I'm doing my short-term renting in it. I got a couple $100,000 in equity. Go back to that same bank. And it's like, man, I've been wanting to start that Smoothie King for the longest, man. But, I guess I'll get there when I get there. No. What do you mean get there when you get there? Wait, what do you mean? No. That fourplex that we help you finance, yeah, listen. Let's take a look. The appraisals come back. It says you got a couple $100,000 in equity. We'll give you 160 of it at a discounted rate again. Really? Y'all sure? Oh yeah, we'll give you $160,000. No problem. No problem. We'll give you a home equity line of credit out of there, $160,000 give you at the best rate, market rate we can give it to you. Great. Okay, great. So what you're telling me is I can take that 160 out of this investment property I just bought, leveraging my stock portfolio that I just built, so I can go out and buy that Smoothie King franchise you was telling me about? Yeah, that's great. As a matter of fact, we'll give you the back end financing for that as well. Let me get you with the relationship manager so he can help you out. We'll get you the 160 from your home equity, and we'll get you with the relationship manager so he can get you a special business lending deal to help you take down that commercial space down the street that you've been looking at, and then that'll get you the capital and the facility you need to get your Smoothie King location set up. What? Wait, I just took my one stock portfolio because I grew it properly. The bank is like, no, don't stop here. We'll give you the money to go get in real estate. No, don't stop here. You bought a great piece of real estate. There's equity there, my friend. Don't let it sit there. You can't eat equity. Pull that out. Go buy that. Go start that Smoothie King franchise. Oh, no, don't stop there. That Smoothie King franchise is doing great. It has phenomenal revenues. You see where this is going? I'm not done yet, though, because it seems like y'all enjoying yourself. I'm not done yet. So now we're going to advance this a little bit further. Great. Now that we've gotten you, took a simple investment strategy because we were watching the right content, had a little bit of capital, put it in the bank. The bank's turning around, offering us everything under the sun. So we've taken a stock portfolio that's growing. We got real estate that's producing cash flow with great equity. We started a franchise. Guess what else the bank's going to decide to do? Oh, don't worry about it. Listen, we got some great tax professionals that can help you optimize. Now that you bought these assets, we don't want you to have that crazy capital gains tax bill or whatever the case may be from all these great investments that you have. So I tell you what, we don't actually have the CPA under the firm due to regulation. But Chuck, your wealth manager, oh yeah, absolutely. He knows a great guy downtown. What he's going to be able to do is take those same assets and get you that bonus depreciation that just passed under the Trump bill not long ago. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Listen, I'm going to have him reach out to you by tomorrow. You want him to email you or call you? Wait, hold on. My stock portfolio, that fourplex I bought, then I was able to get the Smoothie King. It's doing 6 figures a year. And you telling me I ain't got to pay taxes? Y'all going to give me a CPA that's going to make sure that I take all of these assets that I just bought, because I didn't just get stock. I didn't just hit stock on Robinhood and get a 6-figure stock portfolio and cash it out and get stuck with a capital gains bill and a bunch of cash with no strategy. No. I put it over here. So now you about to tell me I made all this damn money. I got all these assets in this short window of time. And then you about to turn around and hook me up with somebody that's going to legally make sure that I don't have a tax bill? What? Y'all, I'm sorry. Somebody let me know in the chat down below. Like, let me know. That's what happens when you know what you're doing. That's what it looks like when you actually create wealth, because they're going to do your legacy planning. They're going to help you build your real estate portfolio. They're going to minimize or eliminate your tax bill, and they're going to get you all the capital you need between real estate and the relationship manager and the home lending advisor. You're never going to run out of money, all without selling a single asset. Only accumulation. This is where the game changes. This is where opportunities like Silver right now, Nvidia 5 years ago, Palantir 3, 4, 5 years ago, we can go on down the line, and whatever hidden stocks, opportunities, and crypto, whatever the hell you're interested in investing in that's going through the roof right now or on its way to going through the roof right now. This is the difference between whose content you're consuming. Because at the end of the day, there's a billion channels out right now that are telling you all about how phenomenal silver is and how you need to get into it. Maybe even giving you hints of stocks that you should be picking or how to buy it or whatever. Nobody's telling you how to optimize that money once you make it. The damn stock gains mean nothing if I have no way to optimize this money. I just look really cute and popular on Instagram for whatever window in time until I burn that money or until I plunge it into some BS deal. Because what happens at the bank as well is I'm working with professionals that are backing this deal. So I'm not going to buy a bad real estate deal. Why? Because the bank won't finance it. I'm buffering myself because my partner in this has a vested interest. They're not going to back a garbage piece of property that has no opportunity to gain. They're not going to plunge. They're not going to lend me money on a business venture that doesn't have a basis to it. So I have a buffer to my ignorance because I have expertise, because I afforded expertise, because I strategically positioned my wealth and my assets with a financial institution that had all of the expertise and resources necessary. Now I'm worth the squeeze. The juice from me is worth the squeeze. These professionals that are dedicated to particular people that have all these licenses and all these decorations, I'm now worthy of that. So all of the things that I'm deploying my money into now makes sense. Even if I don't know necessarily how it's going, I have smart people around me guiding me through these decisions that will say no if they have to because they have a vested interest. You don't have that when you have that stock portfolio on Robinhood. You don't have that when you jump on that referral link for M1 Finance on your favorite creator's channel who's just selling you the idea of jumping on M1 Finance in a video, shamelessly plugging, and not giving you a game plan after you have those investment gains if you get that lucky. You see the difference? That's the difference. That's how you go from rich for a few minutes to wealthy for the rest of your life. That's the power of your banking relationship. That's the power of smart investments, due diligence, and amplifying your gains and your returns, whatever you're accomplishing, into your banking relationships. This is what wealthy people are doing. All these different memes, posts, tweets, whatever that you've seen on the internet about rich people do this. Rich people don't sell their stock, they borrow against it. Rich people buy, borrow, die. I just gave you the game. I just took you from working class, savings, whatever your case may be, plunging into the right investments, grow it to a decent size, and do it underneath the management of a quality financial institution. I promise you, they'll find you. They pay people in their company to find people like you who have those hidden portfolios sitting there waiting to optimize it. Because the bank makes money, safe, secure money on your investments. When they lend to you at those cheap rates for smart asset purchases, they make money, stable money. They don't need to make 20, 30, and 40% interest off of you. When I know you're at scale now, you're not dealing with a $5,000 credit card that I don't know you're gonna pay me back on. You just bought a $500,000 piece of reliable property that people live in that's always gonna have a use case. I don't need to charge you 30% because I'm about to get 5% compounded for the next 30 years. And we're gonna split the cash flow. That goes from redlining, marginalization, and discrimination to partnership. That's how you disturb and disrupt the wealth gap. That's how you close the wealth gap. I'm good right now. It's hotter than fish grease in here right now. I'm gonna let y'all drop some comments down below if y'all have any thoughts or questions before we close it out. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts. Let me know y'all feedback, y'all questions. Let me know down in the comment section down below. But we about to wrap this up because I ain't got no more to say. I ain't got no more to say right now. First live stream of the year. Y'all got a banger. I told y'all that. Let me know in the comment section down below if y'all still in the building and what questions y'all got. Let me know. What I'm talking about, y'all. Let me know what y'all got going on. Any questions, any thoughts before we get out of here? Any feedback? I appreciate every single one of y'all for tuning in and taking the time, jumping on the first live stream of the year. This was exciting to get back to after a few week drought, getting reorganized, repositioning to bring y'all better value on the channel. And we're going to see y'all soon. As you can see, if y'all been following the channel, we cranking it out like crazy now. That's all we needed was a little revamp, some new equipment, and a better refined emission. So that's what we on right now. We're going to be cranking it out the rest of 2026 and beyond. Y'all going to see videos coming out every day. Got our live streams, shorts, long forms. We getting busy. Posts. Y'all going to see me every single day. You know, heavens say the same. Nothing happened. Y'all going to see me every single day. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Let me know if y'all got any questions like y'all quiet right now. We're going to get ready to close it out. So get in the description section down below once this is up. Make sure y'all go back and like the replay, support the channel, support the video. Go back and like the replay. I know I appreciate y'all for tuning in on the live. Go back and watch the replay and let me know, and support, and go back and like the replay, support the video after, because YouTube looks at that differently from when you guys watch it live to actually watching the replay. So y'all want to go back, support the replay. Other than that, I want y'all to get in the description section down below and time with me on Instagram. I'm putting out a bunch of content on there. And yeah, I appreciate every single one of y'all. To all my pioneers, welcome back. To my new viewers, welcome in. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe, support the channel so the channel can continue to support you. And I want each and every one of you to stay focused, stay in motion. I'll see y'all soon.